Hello, everyone. All right, 7 o'clock on the dot means we're going to get started. Hello, my name is Aaliyah Brockbank, and I am the Clinical Communications Manager for Sinclair North America. Thank you so much for spending your Thursday, I believe it's Thursday, evening with us. We really appreciate it. I always say this, but I am really excited for tonight's webinar. We will be talking all about creating compelling content for social media. It's really important, we don't want to just post content because we're supposed to, or because we have to, right? We want to really create content that compels and captivates and then converts your followers into loyal patients. So we will be getting into that, and I'm really excited because we had a lot of people on here tonight. We had a lot of people register, so I'm very, very excited. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so here we go. Creating compelling social media content. So a little reminder, create compelling content that captivates and converts. We'll be saying a lot of C's tonight. Okay, so a quick reminder, if anyone needs, if you're like, do I need to post on social media? Yes, you absolutely do. This is why. The amount of time internet users spend on social media is higher now than ever. So your patient or your potential patient, your target audience is spending time on social media. Are you there? Are you posting content that tells them why they should pick you as a provider? Patients are also using social media to learn about medical aesthetics. Really, social media is the new search engine in a way, right? Google is still definitely a thing. But I know me personally, and I'm a millennial, which it's always really important to target millennials, especially within medical aesthetics. I go to Instagram to not only learn about medical aesthetics, obviously I'm in the industry, so I already know a lot, but I still learn a ton. I'm not on the injectable side, I'm not in plastic surgery. So I learn what's out there through social media. And I also go to social media, specifically Instagram, to find my local service providers. And because reason being is social media is a really unique place in the way I could discover and this is anyone, right? This is your entire target audience. They can go on social media, they can discover you, learn about you, and view your before and after photos, watch treatment videos, learn about your business, your employees, on and on and on. They could then book an appointment, and this is all done within the few minutes that they just found you. So there's really no place like social media when it comes to being discovered. It really has all the information that your potential patients and your target audience needs to fall in love with you and book that appointment. Said it was this new search engine. It allows you to really connect and engage with your audience. So you're not necessarily just connecting with your patients in office. It gives you an option to connect with them outside of that as well, and they'll feel a deeper connection with you because of that. And you just get to chat with them more, which is nice. Effective target marketing as well when done properly. And then it helps your business to stay relevant. Honestly, in this day and age, if a business is not on social media, do they exist? That is the question. I'm just kidding. But especially in medical aesthetics, it is such a visual industry, obviously, and people want to connect with their aesthetic service provider. They want to see those before and after photos and those funny videos and so on. So, long story short, social media is a must. Okay. So what's the goal of social media, right? Okay, we put a post up. Now what? What are we looking for? Let me move this little bar here really quick. Perfect. So first of all, when we post on social media, we want engagement. And engagement is in the form of likes, comments, shares, replying to DMs or responding to stories and so on. Usually the best form of engagement is through comments. So keep that in mind. Why is this important? This boosts the algorithm. So the algorithm, or just the apps in general, they want us on their platforms. They want all of us spending as much time there as possible and engaging as much as possible. So when the algorithm senses that a post is doing well, it then pushes that post to a broader audience, whether that's your current followers, or of course it can go a little further than that, and hopefully to your target audience, who you're looking for to become a patient. So that's number one goal. Also, it will help to build brand awareness. This will help you to become recognizable and then build trust. Trust is always important, right? But in medical aesthetics, it's incredibly important. Your patients have to trust you and trust your business in order for them to receive services from you. Really, when we are recognizable, we build that trust, and people trust brands that they recognize. I always use an example for this. If you were to go to a grocery store and you're in the chip aisle and there's 5 million different options, which one are you, potato chips specifically, I should say, which one are you probably going for? Probably Lay's, right? That is who we know the best. I always go for like Excedrin, for headaches or whatever, when I know that the off brand is really the same thing and it's cheaper. I just know Excedrin and I trust it. And it's really the same concept with your business as well. Also, social media marketing can increase website traffic, or wherever you want to push your followers or your audience to, whether that's like a booking page or whatever, your YouTube, I don't know. So this will help with lead generation, engagement again, and then it can also, when talking about website traffic specifically, it can enhance search engine optimization. And there's obviously a lot that goes into that, but this is just one little piece of that puzzle. Also, the biggest goal here is to convert. We want to turn your followers into loyal, lifelong patients. That is the ultimate goal. So let's talk about how your content can help do that coming up. Okay. So we are going to be talking a lot about storytelling marketing. It's a really, really cool concept. Super interested in it. There's a reason why really all of us love movies, TV, music, books, or all of those things. And it's because they all tell a story, and we are really able to connect and resonate with that story being told. Of course, there's other parts to movies and music and whatnot that we like, but a huge part is stories. And if you are thinking right now, like, how am I going to tell stories like within social media, and market my business that way? We are sharing stories and connecting with people in person every single day. We are sharing stories all day long, whether you realize it or not. And this is how we are connecting in real life. So really, we are just taking that concept and just pivoting it to your marketing strategy on social media. Okay, so pretend you are one of your patients right now, or a potential patient. And picture this. You are an avid social media user. That's me for sure. So you are consuming content all day, every day. Like, you are just consuming information left and right. So it may be harder to pique your interest these days, from a marketing standpoint, because you are just constantly consuming. So, you need something more entertaining and more captivating. And then you come across your business's page. And of course, you'll have your before and after photos and funny, trendy videos. Yes, we absolutely need those as well. But this patient or potential patient, they also find on your platform, or on your page, they find stories about your patients and their experience at your clinic and their results and their before and after photos. And you're really telling them how you achieved those results personally, right? You're filming a video and telling them these things. They also find stories about you as either the business owner or the manager, whatever the case may be. Your why. Why are you in medical aesthetics? You know, what brought you this way? And I feel like we all have a pretty good story most of the times, you know. Um, so this patient, you know, they just keep digging deeper and deeper and finding more of these storytelling videos, and their interest is piqued for sure, right? This is a unique way that you just captivated them. They fall in love with you, they book that appointment. So this really is the goal of storytelling marketing. Okay, let's get a little bit deeper. So what is storytelling marketing? It's a tongue twister a little bit. It's the practice of building a series of consistent narratives that help position your brand over time. The stories you tell center around your patients, the problems you solve for them, as well as your company's culture, values, and experience. And this is coming from the American Marketing Association. Goodness gracious, I can't talk. Now, there's kind of different stories we can tell. We can tell kind of a big picture story of your whole brand, and we can also kind of tell smaller stories about a specific patient. But they all kind of come together and paint a broader picture of your brand and your business. It really gives your patients an understanding of who you are and your values. Back in my branding or building, I've always forgot what I call my past webinars, but my branding webinars several months ago, it really talks about letting your followers and your audience know your values and your mission and your purpose. You know, that is part of your brand, and you can really tell a story with that. So when patients feel like they know your brand and they know you, they will be more likely to trust you with their business. So there's that word again, trust. We really want to build on that. And of course, there's a lot of different ways we can really build connection and trust. But a lot of the time, social media is the first point of contact. So building that trust and connection is as soon as possible is very, very important. Storytelling is really powerful because it creates an emotional connection between your business and your patients. Emotional marketing is totally a thing and it works. So, and aesthetics can be a little bit of an emotional thing as well, right? You are changing people's lives most of the time. So, really infuse those emotions, leading me to my next point, and experiences for a memorable brand impact. And then bring people in as quickly as you can. We really want to captivate them and hook them. And we'll talk more about that. Interesting down here. So I was just, you know, scrolling Instagram like I do all the time. And I followed this I guess he's a content creator, but he also has built a business on like Instagram strategies and whatnot. And he was posting about what will be popular in 2024 when it comes to Instagram content. And I saw this. He was saying then, you know, like maybe right now, generic tips and tricks were popular, but in 2024, personal storytelling from your own experiences is going to be the thing. And I was like, perfect. We were talking about this on Thursday. So it looks like this is really what's going to be popular in 2024. And people really, they're looking for an authentic connection through social media. You know, they want to connect with people. So really important to jump on the storytelling technique. Okie dokie. So I kind of mentioned this, I think, a couple times, but share your story. Just really cultivate audience loyalty by always being really authentic. People really appreciate that, especially in such a space that's really curated. And share your personal why. So why are you in medical aesthetics? Yes, we're all here to make money, but that cannot be your only why. Why are you in medical aesthetics? Think about that. Connect with your core motivations and express them openly in your content, whether you just kind of sit down and tell that story. But again, this should really be kind of throughout all of your content, this purpose and core. Be specific about your why, and it attracts those who resonate most, fostering loyalty and then translating into increased sales, of course, right? That's ultimately the goal. And then really provide your audience with a reason to support and cheer for you, by telling your story. They're excited for you. So when I was reading this and researching, I thought of this video I'm about to show you. This was shown at our 2022 sales meeting. So it's almost been 2 years now, I guess. And this is the story of Viora to Sinclair. Now, it doesn't talk about our why, but we do really focus on that in our marketing and on our website and whatnot. But just to kind of show you what sharing your story could kind of look like. All right, I got to move this one more time. Sorry. I can hit the play button. Okay, there we go. Here we go.
Little history lesson on Viora. It all started with two friends, one aesthetic sales rep and one lawyer. 2005. With sights set on developing a global aesthetic brand, they developed the first diamond tip microdermabrasion unit and swiftly take over 30% of the US market share with the Pristine. Seeing an opportunity in the light-based market at the height of the economic downturn, they developed the cost-effective solution for hair removal, skin rejuvenation, and acne clearance with the Trios. Once their foundation was set, they embarked on their radio frequency market. In 2009, they launched their flagship device, the Reaction, a radio frequency and vacuum-assisted device for cellulite, circumferential reduction, contouring, and skin tightening. Viora then launched a unique business model in 2010, the Risk-Free, which gave customers an opportunity to try the equipment and sample Viora's support services prior to their purchase. In 2012, Viora becomes a leader in the global franchise market. Then, in 2013, Viora's US and global sales skyrocketed. Viora's V-Series was conceptualized in 2015, with Viora's commitment to providing high-end technology at a better value proposition. The following year, in 2016, the VST and VIPL were launched with the V20 and V30 consoles. Then in 2017, the V-Form, along with the V10 consoles, were made available. In 2018, Viora USA produces the highest revenue and profit in Viora history. Viora then launched their consumer brand, Viora Life, in 2019. In 2021, Viora received FDA clearance for the VFR, which expanded the array of treatments available on the V10, V20, and V30. That same year, Viora acquired the Enerjet device and launched the Dermafuse in the United States. In 2022, Viora was acquired by Sinclair, merging both Cocoon Medical and Viora into a dynamic, energy-based division for Sinclair. Additionally, Viora launches an additional handpiece for the V-Series, the VPR, along with the Fusion concept. Viora is no longer a small, privately held company. Viora is owned by Sinclair, a global aesthetics company headquartered in London and a fully owned subsidiary of Hadung Medicine Company Limited, a business generating billions of dollars. Viora is a global leader in the aesthetic industry and will soar to new heights under its new ownership. Get ready to feel the change.
Okay, so that was obviously more of a longer form video. In like on Instagram and TikTok, of course, on TikTok, you have options of creating longer content, but usually the goal is a little bit quicker. But anyway, just to kind of show you an idea of what telling your story can look like. And I can tell you from when we played this at the national sales meeting from an employee standpoint, it was like very inspirational and motivating. And I felt really proud to be a part of this company. Like going from the Pristine only all the way up to where we are now, so you can really create that same feeling, not only from your target audience, but from your employees as well. And we'll talk more about that. Okay. Moving on. So what makes a good story? There's a lot of different pieces that can, kind of come together to make a really great, captivating story. So entertaining, right? That's usually what social media is all about. Good stories keep the audience engaged and interested in what's coming next. Also believable. Of course, we're not necessarily telling, fake stories here, but really convincing the audience of their version of reality and make it easy to trust and engage. Educational, this is huge for our space, right, in medical aesthetics. So good stories really spark curiosity and add to the audience's knowledge bank. Again, patients are coming to social media to learn about medical aesthetics, so really focus on this educational point. And educational in a way that is also easily digestible. We don't want to get super technical, super sciencey. That can be a little bit confusing. Unless you have a specific patient who's really into that, then obviously you guys can go into that. Relatable. So this is big, right? Being relatable and telling relatable stories really helps with connection and trust. It reminds the audience of the people and places they know and helps the audience recognize patterns in the world around them. So relatability is important. Organized. You want to just tell a really nice organized story that's easy to follow and easy to digest. Memorable. And there's different ways to be memorable, right? It could be inspiring, scandalous. I don't know if we're being scandalous in our space, but never know. Funny, and just in general, good stories stick in people's minds. And funny content is found to be the most memorable. So don't take yourself too seriously. Tell funny stories. There's a lot of funny trends on social media that you can follow. I can tell you my content, like the funnier content that I do, usually does very, very well. So, compared to the ones where I'm like spending a lot more time and whatnot, and I'm like, oh, it was like the 10-second funny video that did well. Got it. So people really like funny content. It really asks nothing of them, right? They can just watch it, consume it, and enjoy it, and they'll remember it. Trendy. Wow, we have a lot of trends in our space, right? Kara and I have done a couple of webinars earlier this year, one on V-Slim. We introduced a protocol that helps to reduce buccal fat. And the reason why we did a webinar on it is because buccal fat pad removal surgically was trending huge, like on TikTok specifically. So we saw it as an opportunity to then talk about what we have to offer. We also talked about tech neck recently, right? We're all speaking of social media, we're all looking down on our phone all the time. We're creating those horizontal lines. Very, very popular on social media right now. People are talking about it. So you should be doing the same thing. You should look at what's trending within medical aesthetics, even, the surgical side, because you most likely have a non-invasive option that people will be looking for. So people are searching for, in your target audience, your potential patients, they are searching for what's trendy. Are you there? Are you there telling them that you have a solution for them? Hopefully. Yes, you will be. Okay. Let's talk about some storytelling methods. So we are going to just go over just some different ways you can tell stories. I have some video examples just to give you an idea. So we will start with the before and after method. So first step we'll take when creating this video. And I chose to do videos, and I'll talk more about this because really all platforms across the board, they're all about short form videos right now. So I would recommend doing videos. So your first step when creating this video, you're going to describe the problem, perceived problem, right? This is the patient's perception. And this is really what business is across the board is someone has a problem, you have a solution. So that's why it says problem. So describe the problem, and then you outline what would be ideal or desirable for your target audience. So kind of think of using the words imagine if, right? That starts to spark their imagination, and it's just a kind of a good starting point. And then you will explain the solution. So here is your example. CapCut made it in there. That's the platform I use to edit. I usually crop that, but just gives you an idea. And I thought that VBR, like when I saw this before and after method, I was like, that feels like VBR, just describing what women go through, that we're not always talking about necessarily, and then saying, imagine if there is a solution, and guess what, there is. So it felt like more of an inspirational kind of form of content to me when I was reading this, but of course you can use it however you'd like. Also specifically, when talking about kind of backing up, talking about VBR, if you do have that technology, I think it's really good, and I didn't have time to do this. It's good to get on camera and talk about it, right? This is an incredibly personal thing. So you really want to really harness that connection and trust. So I would get on camera and definitely talk. Fun example anyway. Okay. Next, and I can never get a good picture of me when I'm talking, ever. So ignore my face for now. So this one is called Star Chain Hook, and it's a pretty well-known consultant who came up with this. So start with a positive opening, and this is kind of hooking them in there. So examples like, it's time to, today is the day when, I have really good news, really exciting news, and so on. Then sum up a chain of convincing benefits, facts, or explanations to create desire for what you're talking about. And then finally, close with a hook or a call to action, such as, go to the link in the bio, call to schedule, comment your favorite, blah, 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 whatever you're talking about. Comment your favorite VST treatment, whatever it may be. Usually it's really great to have some sort of call to action somewhere in your content, whether it be in the video or it's in the caption. Just really telling your audience where to go and what to do after viewing your content. So here's this example.
I have really exciting news. This week only, our V-Form is 5.5, gives you 6 treatment free. V-Form uses radio frequency and vacuum to reduce fat cells in a really safe and controlled manner, as well as stimulates collagen to tighten the skin at the same time. This is all done in quick 20-minute treatment, so you can be in and out of the office. It is comfortable. It actually feels really great. Has no downtime whatsoever. And starting now will have you feeling more confident by summer. Click the link in the bio or give us a call to schedule your first V-Form treatment.
Okay, so you had the examples there of the star, the chain, and the hook. And in real life, I would not have half of my face cut out, but it's how it happened this time, and it's okay. Okay, so that is a really great method. And obviously I was kind of pretending to, work in a clinic, saying that we had a deal going on. But just think about how you can incorporate the star chain hook into your content. There's another funny picture, of course. Okay, here's a really cool method. It's sharing the process. And when I was reading this, I was like, I don't really see this on social media. Usually when we bring on new technologies, within a clinic, you're just kind of telling like, this product is, or treatment is great because XYZ. Never really telling why you were looking to bring this on and what it does for your patients, and why you brought it onto your clinic. So I thought this was interesting and could be really cool. So if you're launching a new product or service, share details about why, there's that why again, you chose to integrate this technology or product into your practice, and really include your audience in the process. Now, of course, when we bring on a new technology or product, we can market this many different ways, but I think it's really awesome to really use the storytelling technique to just bring them into the process, why you were looking for this type of technology, why you chose this one to bring into your office. And it really gives you an opportunity to tell your audience why you truly believe in this product and service. Okay, here's your example.
We are so excited to be offering a new service at Sinclair Med Spa. And we wanted to bring you along as to why we thought this was the best fit for our patients and for our clinic. We were really looking for a very unique treatment capability that can give you your best results as quickly as possible. And after a ton of research and a lot of demos on different technologies, we found that the Energet was the perfect fit. One, it's completely unique, which is what we were looking for. We are able to deliver therapeutic compounds like diluted hyaluronic acid filler into the skin needle-free. We are then stimulating a ton of collagen and elastin and increasing moisture retention in the skin, which is so important for so many different things. We are able to provide amazing results for dermal thickening, skin tightening, stretch marks, acne scarring, lifting of the skin, and more. Just like every technology that we bring on, this is one that we truly believe in. And there is a ton of case studies and data and before and after photos to back it up. We cannot wait to show you this technology and give you your best results. So click the link in the bio or give us a call to schedule your consultation.
Okay, there is your share the process. So again, I just think this is something unique that I don't see a lot on social media, honestly, and just kind of looping your audience into the why, along with the other ways that you're marketing and posting about that technology for sure. And I always like to, when I'm talking on video, I also like to have text. I was just watching and just kind of thought I would point it out. Whether, that's like automated captions, where AI kind of does it all for me, or sometimes I'll kind of type different things in, like on that one. But I think it's important to kind of tend to multiple senses, right? They're kind of, I guess it's both through viewing, but they're listening to you as well, but they can also read what you're saying too. And also maybe they're scrolling through social media, but they can't necessarily listen right now. They can read what you're saying. So just a little tip that I like. Okay, so those were just a few methods that hopefully can kind of help you start your storytelling marketing. But do ask yourself these questions when you're looking into storytelling marketing and creating your content. Would this message be interesting for my target audience? Your content is for your target audience. We want to appeal to them as much as possible, right? We want to really communicate how they want to be communicated with, and we want to provide content that they want to see. What is the best way to tell this story? In what form would the story be most appealing for my target audience? Images, video, using emojis, and so on. Again, video really is the thing on social media right now. But just experiment. That's really all you can do with social media at the end of the day, is just experimenting with different things, like posting pictures, see how that does. Videos, see how that does. Shorter videos, longer videos, funny videos, and so on. And just going and looking at your analytics and see what's performing best, and then just pay attention to that and make that type of content often. But we still need to kind of diversify our content at the same time too. Anyway, is my content direct and simplified? Use short sentences, lists, and avoid difficult words. So content's meant to be easily digestible, especially in like short form video. We're getting a lot of information out quickly, and so we have to make it really easy. So pay attention to that. Really activate the imagination. That's what really good storytelling does, right? Through powerful images, videos, and words. And then draw attention immediately. You really want to hook them in the beginning. So really in the first sentence that you say, or you're in your caption, wherever you're trying to tell this story, really hook them quickly. I forget the exact number, but we basically, when we're scrolling social media, we decide within seconds whether we're going to keep watching this content or not. It happens very, very quickly. So avoid really long intros so you can kind of lose people's interest that way. Okay, so some storytelling language for you. So we don't always have to tell like these really long, beautiful stories necessarily. While sometimes that is great, sometimes just changing our language a little bit really does the trick with storytelling. So imagine this post, right? I'm talking about sunscreen and how important it is. So my regular content would say using SPF every day is important. Yes, it is. But what would our storytelling content look like? How using SPF every day, I should have added, can save your skin. Isn't that way more interesting sounding? That makes me go, oh my gosh, like, especially if I didn't wear sunscreen, I'd be like, this is going to save my skin. I have to watch this and then listen to them. So there's one. Regular content. This patient had 3 treatments of Energet. How storytelling content. How Energet gave this patient her dream skin. Oh my gosh, the word dream, right? How compelling and captivating is that? I would be interested for sure. Okay. Okay, so if I was telling you my story regularly, and on how I joined Sinclair, I would say I joined Sinclair in 2021. My storytelling content would say how or scrolling social media landed me my dream career. Imagine that. I found Sinclair or Viora at the time through social media. So it does pay off to spend a ton of time on social media sometimes. But that's a lot more interesting, right? Than just saying, yeah, like I joined in 2021. I'm really going to tell you my story that way. Regular content. So VIPL and Dermafuse is great to treat acne. Oops, that should say storytelling content. Sorry. Storytelling content. My personal struggle with acne inspired me to offer the best combination treatments. Oh my gosh, how relatable is that? And anyone with acne would absolutely connect with you. And I've met so many medical aesthetic service providers who are in medical aesthetics because they themselves had acne, or whatever else. So really use that to your advantage for sure, because people will really connect and relate with you for sure. So think about your language, and just spinning it a little bit makes it a whole lot more interesting. It actually was crazy to me. I was like, wow, it is a lot more interesting just by changing a few words, but telling the same story at the end of the day. So with storytelling marketing, what is our goal? I think I kind of said this earlier. Our goal is to first catch their interest, right? And to do so quickly, pique their curiosity, right? They see that first video and they're interested for sure, but they're also like, I must know more. They then fall in love with you and your business and your staff and your results. Then they book an appointment. So this is what we want to do. So think about your content and how it can get you to this. This is what we want. Okay, so that is it on the storytelling side, but we will talk a bit more about content in general. So I mentioned earlier, we'd be talking a little bit more about short form videos. So 96% of consumers, and this is just across the board, not necessarily just in medical aesthetics, prefer to watch short form video content to learn more about products or services. Absolutely. I would much prefer this day and age to watch a video to kind of receive information versus having to read, which is sad, but it's true. It's where we're at. Consumers find short form videos to be 2.5 times more engaging than long form videos. So this is from sproutsocial.com. So you're getting the information to them quickly and they're digesting it quickly. So it's just a bit more engaging. You're more interesting, in a minute and a half versus trying to keep someone's interest for 10, 20 minutes. Hopefully I'm keeping your interest. This is longer, huh? Also, algorithms favor short form videos. Reason being is TikTok. Once TikTok really blew up in 2020-ish, kind of during COVID, the rest of the social media platforms, so Instagram, Facebook, of course, they're both owned by Meta. YouTube, they took on short form videos as well to compete. And usually when a platform has a new feature, especially when it really kind of reconstructs their whole algorithm and their whole platform, like Reels did for Instagram and Facebook, the platform will really push that type of content. So you've probably noticed in the last few years, if you spend a lot of time on Instagram and even Facebook, you see a lot more reels and a lot more videos these days for sure. They are pushing that content because they want to compete with TikTok. And TikTok is the #1 downloaded, last I checked, which was just a couple months ago, #1 downloaded app in the world. So they're really trying to compete. So short form videos really are huge in the social media space right now. Again, this is really easily digestible content, and this is why we love it. You can share a lot of information in a short period of time and really get your message across, which is great. So some short form video best practices. Be sure to film vertically. That is just the format of Reels, and so it just is the best, right? It just looks the best that way. Hook your audience. We've talked about that. Again, they're scrolling quickly. They're deciding very fast if they're wanting to watch any longer. Post-treatment videos. I think this is really important. And of course, you can incorporate storytelling with your treatment videos as well. Really showing your audience what your treatments look like, I think is important. It gets them interested. Maybe it looks less scary than maybe what they thought. You know, the patient looks comfortable and whatnot. That's really great to do. Frequently include a call to action. We've talked about that. Follow trends. So that if you scroll Instagram Reels for 5 minutes, you will see what is trending. Absolutely. You'll just kind of keep seeing the same sounds over and over. So they may not always seem like they apply to medical aesthetics, but you just have to kind of think about it for a second and see how you can relate that to your business and then use that trend. But people and, you know, consumers and your audience, they really enjoy kind of the trending videos and, you know, especially the funny ones. So follow some trends, and use templates on Instagram. So if you click the plus on the bottom and you scroll over to create a reel, you'll kind of see at the top, it says templates. And there's a ton of them that are already created for you with music and the proper timing. So for example, if you want, if the template has 4 videos, it'll just say, okay, upload a video that's 1 second, you know, to go with the music, upload a video that's 5 seconds or whatever. So it's really easy, makes your life a lot easier. The timing, the music, it's already perfect for you. And a lot of times the text is already there. You just kind of have to edit it. So really nice. Okay, that is on short form videos. Instagram and Facebook stories. So if you're not familiar, your stories are at the top of your feed. They look like this. They last 24 hours only. So, and quite often I'm scrolling stories more than I am my feed. So it's a really great tool to stay on your patients and your audience's mind. It's really a secondary location for you to show up, right? Not only do you have the normal in-feed posts and reels and whatnot, but there you are at the top again. So it gives you another opportunity to hook them, to captivate them, for them to fall in love with you and to book. And also really humanizes your page as well. I do really think social media has become a lot more human in the past several years than prior years, for sure. Again, people are really seeking out that authenticity and just being themselves and less curated. But stories can humanize your page further, and it is good to humanize your business, right? People don't follow businesses really, they follow people. And you are the people in business. So really get on your stories, talk to patients, take them through your day, cute little things like that. You can show some treatment stuff there as well. You can really post whatever you want on your stories. I would just constantly kind of keep at least a couple of things up on your story at a time. And you can post as much as you want there. You can post all day if you wanted to, or you can just post a couple a day, but kind of keep something going at all times. Use available features. So if you have your story ready to go and then you swipe up, you'll see a lot of these features like GIFs, polls, so you can have something interactive, which is great for the algorithm and great for engagement. You can add music, you can ask questions. So like, or is it the quiz I'm thinking of? There's that too, or maybe that's the poll, but you can kind of quiz them, like on their skincare knowledge or something like that. Or oh, there's the quiz, I see it now. So questions, poll, and quiz. So there's a lot of features there for you, but use them to your advantage, kind of mess around with them. They are great for engagement because people are responding with those features. You can post weekly segments, and this is good to do in your in-feed posts as well, like skincare tip Saturday or something like that. You can come up with something more clever, but that is good to do. Share your in-feed posts, right? So try and get more engagement that way. share sales and event information. You can always share our content if you see something that you like, always, and you can share it in your in-feed posts as well. And then you can also create highlights on Instagram too. So they're little circles basically that are under your bio before your regular content. And you can put whatever stories you want in these different highlights, but it makes it so that it lasts forever on your page until you delete it, but it's longer than 24 hours. So you can create like a before and after photo highlight, which I would definitely recommend. You can talk about some policies maybe so that people can kind of go there and see what a few of your policies are, different treatments that you have and so on. So I would highly recommend that. Okay, user-generated content. So I learned what this is last year, early this year, and it is kind of taking over influencer marketing, to be honest. I mean, that's still definitely a thing, but this user-generated content is very well received. So UGC, you can also say that's a bit easier. It's original brand-specific content created by customers and published on social media or other channels. So it's essentially the modern day word of mouth. So you can user-generated content can come from your patients organically, right? They're happy with their results. They are posting on their stories or their in-feed posts. That is technically user-generated content and it's authentic. Testimonials are a really great way to showcase authentic patient experiences and results as well. My gosh, of course, right? People want to hear from your patients and what their experience was. So if you can, and of course, people are leaving reviews and you can use those as testimonials for your social media. But if you can get with a few patients, that you have a really great relationship with, and film some reels of them just kind of chatting about their experience, I think that's a great idea to really use that short form video benefit as well. There are also people who are UGC creators. And it's someone who creates sponsored content that appears authentic, but is designed to showcase a specific business or product. UGC creators are not creating traditional organic UGC. They're paid by brands to create content that emulates traditional UGC. So it's more of an aesthetic, more planned out versus a patient, just posting a story per se. So I'll show you, I just found this on TikTok. I just looked up UGC content. I'll show you what more of like a sponsored UGC content looks like.
But hyaluronic acid helps strengthen your moisture barrier with just 1 hour. And best of all, it's perfect for my fellow oily skin allergies. A little goes a long way, and it's perfect for incorporating into your everyday skincare routine. If I were you, I'd be running to my nearest Sephora.
Okay, that's that. They're usually pretty quick. So you can, if you're interested in maybe finding someone local, or I guess it doesn't have to be local, right? It's the internet. So you can find a UGC creator. And if that's something that you want to do to kind of create more branded content, that is definitely an option. And again, UGC content is really well received from the consumer side because it is more authentic and at least seems more authentic, right? Versus influencer marketing. So this is definitely growing and has grown for sure within the past few years. So, but if you don't want to use someone, to pay them to create content like that for you, ask your patients, you know what I mean? Or they're already doing that and ask them to tag you and really use that to your advantage.
3 reasons why
So also there is something called employee generated content. So this is content such as photos, videos, social media posts, reviews by employees about a brand or its company culture. EGC increases brand awareness, content engagement, and highlights the experience of working for your company. So this can really build trust with your audience and potential employees, right? If you're really showing how great of a company you are, you're going to have people lined up, to apply. So when you do have an opening come up, it's like you have all of these amazing resumes to go through. So that's a really, really huge benefit. So with employee generated content, really share and celebrate it in your office. This will really help your team to feel like they are part of the team and to really nurture a great workplace culture. So what does this look like? So you can share employees' aesthetic results and experience, right? Like from their point of view, they can kind of talk about their experience with treatments there, behind the scenes with your employees involved, day in the life at your office. This is really popular on social media. It will be the most mundane day you've ever seen, on social media, but someone's doing a day in my life, and they have so much engagement to it. People just really, really like day in the life content. Why they love working at your clinic and so on. This is actually something that we are working on. Once I learned about it, I was like, we absolutely need to do this. We do have a really great culture, and this should be a part of our brand a little bit more. Brands like Google, they're well known to have a really great company culture. So it can really become part of your brand. And of course, it's important that we share content from the brand, right? We have to communicate and connect and share our story and share our content and whatnot. But also including, your patients in that user generated content space, and then including your employees. It's just giving a different perspective of your business, and it just paints a bigger picture of your business overall. And people will really connect with you even further. Honestly, it's really, really great, authentic way to brand yourself. So look into user generated content and employee generated content. Okay, also results matter, don't they? We are in medical aesthetics, so people are seeking results. So you must absolutely share before and after photos. It's a really powerful visual and testament to the effectiveness of your treatments and of your technology and of your skill. People want to see this. It can attract new patients because they're so amazed by your results, right? They need that in their lives. You don't have to just post a picture, right? Unless that type of content works well for you. Share reels with before and after photos and get on that reel, kind of like I did with the green screen in the background, which, by the way, that is a feature on Instagram and on TikTok. It's really super easy. And show a before and after photo and chat about it. What did you do? What was this patient looking for? Educate about the indication, of like if it's acne scars, or something like that, give a little bit of educational background on it. This is how I found a local injector for me. And first of all, this is how I find my local service providers. I go to Instagram and I search hashtag, I do the pound sign, Charleston, that's where I live, Charleston Botox, Charleston fillers, whatever I'm looking for, right? And this is how I found this injector. But she is really great at this. She does a before and after photo, she gets on camera and she talks about it. And I was hooked. First of all, her results were amazing. Second of all, I loved her content and I really liked her. So told a great story. I was captivated. I was hooked. I booked an appointment right there. So yeah, that's a way you can share before and after photos. And please, 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 please make sure your before and after photos are amazing, right? I'm talking about the pictures themselves like this. Because we never want to post a before and after photo or show a patient before and after photo. And they're like, yeah, I see it, but there's shadows. So maybe that's it. Or I'm, smiling in the first picture and not in the second picture. So it's kind of hard to tell. We don't want that. We want them to look at this before and after photo and say, absolutely no doubt, this is an incredible result, right? So we have a really, not really long, but a longer webinar on before and after photos. It's on our customer portal under practice development, if I remember correctly. But there's a lot of different aspects that go into taking great before and after photos. It's a science and it takes a little bit of practice, but background, clothing, lighting, positioning, facial expressions, all of these different things. So the goal is consistent and natural, right? No, no smiling, just a really neutral expression. So anyway, please, please, please perfect the before and after photo art. Go watch that webinar. Always reach out to us with questions. But share your before and after photos. You can have really great content, right? And not really be sharing before and after photos as much. And, you know, people want to see that. They want to see your results. That will bring them in even further and really hook them and want to book with you. Okay, so finally, I think this is my last slide other than the little ending slide. Just some contents, do's and don'ts, and just the kind of random things I kept thinking of in my head. I was like, let me just make a do and a don't list. So I'm going to start right to left. Sorry. What we should not do is post content that isn't complete. Instead, pay attention to all of the elements of the post. There's a lot of different elements, right? There's audio, whether it's you talking and or music in the background, there's text, there are captions, and so on. Never post anything that's not complete, right? We don't have to post just to post. We want to post really quality content. Starting from the right here. Don't post stock images, instead post authentic content. Now, not meaning you can't ever use a stock image as part of your content, right? But when I go onto a page and I see that it's all stock images, it doesn't draw me in personally. And it's not a humanized way to, you know, to kind of talk or kind of promote your brand, I guess. And it just doesn't help you to connect and relate to your audience. So think about creating authentic content. And I'm sorry, but you getting on camera is really, really important, right? We want to show your face. Let your audience get to know you. I promise you they'll like you. You can redo your video as many times as you want, and it does get easier. So that's a great way to be authentic, is to be yourself and show up on camera. We don't want to create confusion with our content. Of course, we do want to stay consistent with branding. So confusion is never an emotion we want to invoke in in our branding or our marketing, right? So be consistent with your branding, and branding has many different aspects to it. But social media specifically, we're kind of talking about our brand identity, right? Our colors, our font, our logo. So just really focus and hone in on your brand, who you are. Again, you can go back and watch the branding webinar, but don't not know your brand. It can be a little bit confusing for your audience. We don't want to avoid building trust and connection with your audience, right? We do want to show up in your content. So I guess I got a little ahead of myself. I always talk about this point. Show up in your content, show up, show your face. I promise it's very much so worth it. What we don't want to do is write I skipped one, didn't I? Let me go back. What we don't want to do is use too many hashtags. So on Instagram specifically, there is an option you can post 30 hashtags, but it's a little too many. It can be a bit confusing to the algorithm. We want to post relevant hashtags. So in always, I would include your city and like med spa or whatever you're posting about, right? If you're posting about Botox, your city, hashtag your city Botox. Remember, that's how I found my service provider and how a lot of people do. So that is very important. And then just relevant hashtags to the post. And look for hashtags that don't have a ton of posts on it quite yet. And that can be a little tricky sometimes. But when you're searching or, you're typing in your hashtags, it'll give you a number and it'll show you how many posts are under that hashtag. So look for a little bit of a lower number if you can. Talked about showing up in your content. So again, we don't want to write really lengthy captions. Instead, write a really captivating, quick caption with a call to action. So you're really hooking them in. It's not lengthy. We're not having to read, a book. You're telling your story elsewhere. And then a little call to action at the end is always great. Like go to the link in the bio to schedule, call us at this number, whatever the call to action may be. So there are, I can't talk anymore. It's been too long. There are your do's and don'ts. I hope this was helpful when creating your content. I would, well, really quickly, let me kind of back up here. Information. If you're new to us, you can scan the QR code. It'll take you to our website. This is our website otherwise. Also email. So if you have any questions whatsoever, please reach out. Phone number. Here is our Instagram and Facebook handle. And then here is mine. I am just on Instagram. And then we have a TikTok as well. It's that Sinclair North America. I would like to open the floor. You are welcome to turn your microphone on, or if you want to type into the chat, if you guys just have any questions. Oh, I have some questions already. Slides recording of the session available. Yes, we upload every webinar, not only to YouTube, so our Sinclair North America YouTube channel, but also mysinclaircollege.com. It'll be there as well. Are different kinds of stories more appealing to different age groups? Really good question. Yeah, I'm sure, absolutely. How we market definitely depends on our target audience and how they like to be spoken to, absolutely. But I would say in general, just authentically sharing your story is a good idea across the board, absolutely. So really hone in. If you don't know your target audience, look into that. You can kind of figure out how they like to be, communicated with, how they like their stories to be told, basically, and then you can kind of focus on that. Can I request the slides of your session YouTube channel link, please? Can you send your either your email or your Instagram, and I can contact you there. Thank you so much. Let me just, I don't know if this is the best method, but I'm gonna just snap a photo. Okay, any other questions? I want to make sure I'm not missing anyone. Okay, well, thank you so much. Oh, can you put your contact here for the video? Yeah. Yes, you're so welcome. Thank you all for joining. Here, I'm going to just give you my Instagram handle again in this chat. I think it's a little bit of an easier way to communicate, and then we can exchange further information. Because I'm always on Instagram, I can promise you that. Yes, thank you so much. I hope this was helpful. We will be back in a few weeks. Gosh, we're almost into December now. That is so crazy. I guess tomorrow's December. Towards the end of December, we'll be doing another webinar. It will be on social media as well. So stay tuned. Reach out to either the email, you have my Instagram handle, reach out if you have any questions, need further help. Be happy to do it. That is it. Thank you guys. Have a good night. Bye.